Hey YouTube, Peterbilt Knife Guy. Today I'm going to be looking at a couple of old vintage Western knives. Western's a company that's been around for a long time. They are no longer around anymore, which is kind of sad because they made some real iconic bitchin' knives back in the day that are kind of hard to come by. I've had a few of them. I had a couple Western 49s, the big Bowies, and I sold them like an idiot. One of them I got for like $5 with one of those old Buckmasters. And like an idiot, I found out how much they were worth and thought of all the stupid things I could buy with them and, sold them. So anyways, got two different knives here, both by the same company. This one right here is a Western. There is a patent number, but no model number on here. The last number on the patent I can't read. Maybe somebody else can. But there's a neat old knife. It's not mine. It's my buddy's. I'm gonna be taking apart and rehandling it. Somebody went and so these. First off, these are both constructed similar fashion. It was kind of a Western deal. If you look in here, you'll see a divot right there. It's on both sides. What that divot is there's basically the tang of this knife is in two pieces. Comes down and it's pinned in two spots on this one. On this one, you can kind of see the divot. It's kind of rusted, but there's a divot in the middle, and then there's two pieces that come down, and these ones were peened on, but somebody leaded it. So I don't know why they would do that. This is an original butt cap, but maybe it loosened up, and I don't know. I'll find out when I take it apart. But it looks like a true full tang, but they're really not. There's a hollow section in the middle here. It's like, just think of it as like two prongs off the tang, and they go down and they're peened in at the end. On this one, this one's pinned in, because if you look at it, you're like, oh, full tang knife. It's not a true full tang. There's technically two stick tangs that make it look like a full tang. And like this guard, how it's held on, you look in there, that brass extends all the way through. It's just basically slid between and then put together. Same thing with this guy. I don't know, you might even be able to see light through there. Let me grab a flashlight. Grab a flashlight. Yep, see, you can see the hollowness in the middle. See the hollowness? That's the two different, that's the middle piece inside the tang. So it's not a true full tang. These leather stacks on here are kind of cut like an H almost. It's where the center part of the H slides down the middle of that. But they're pretty strong designs. They'll actually handle shock pretty good because it kind of gives it, I don't know, kind of like a springy effect. But I mean, you have to really hit it to make it spring. This one's a newer version, and by new, it's still old, but it's newer. This is a Western W36. This is more of a hunting knife. This is more of a fighting knife. Has a fuller in here to lighten it up, which is really nice. It's blued, and I'm not positive if that's a factory bluing, but it looks like it's a factory bluing job, and that's pretty cool. And if this is an old war knife, made for the military, then I would imagine bluing it would keep the carbon steel, because these are both carbon steel, from rusting. This one was pretty rusted when I got it, and a lot of Brillo pad work, and I got it, all the rust off. But there's slight pitting, a little bit of pitting, and then some jackass at some point in time when they owned this knife, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know how they got all these grind marks in there, but Man, they did a terrible job. I'm assuming a grinder wheel. I don't know why anybody would do that. If you ever think about sharpening a knife on a grinder wheel, don't. But this thing actually, you know, the blade is in pretty damn mint condition. It wasn't overly sharpened. Neither was this one, but you see them sometimes where they get a big old recurve from all the sharpening. I don't know why they spend more time. I think it's when people are on stones. Let's say this is my sharpening stone. People tend to do this a lot and then go up to the tip and then come back down here and work a bunch and then come back up to the tip. They're not spending the same amount of time on everything when they're sharpening them. And it tends to wallow out the bottom here. Let me get I have an example, but it's gonna be a pain in the ass to get. But it basically just creates a recurve on a knife that never had a recurve before. Instead of sharpening it all out, they spend a lot of time making this part real sharp. Thicknesses on these is there's a big difference. The hunting knife is much more thicker than the old fighting knife. Aluminum versus steel butt cap, wood versus leather, brass versus steel, uncoated versus blued, and lengthwise, this one's got a good, I'd say, 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch on it. This one has it's not a sharpened swedge, but it's definitely a thinner swedge. Then this old guy has a thicker swedge. I believe these were made out of 1095 carbon. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they hold a damn good edge. However they did it back in the day, they did it well, and pretty strong, and pretty good edge, and they'll get sharp, stupid sharp. This one got stupid sharp. I haven't sharpened this one yet. I'm gonna wait until I do the handle on it, because I imagine if I sharpen it now and I try to redo this handle, I'm just gonna cut the living crap out of myself, and I don't need stitches. So yeah, it's just a comparison of two old vintage Western knives from different eras. This one's older, I believe. But yeah, thanks for watching.